Have you ever looked at a successful online creator and wondered, how do they really make it work? We're talking about the ones earning six figures. It's definitely not just about flipping on a camera. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what is, essentially, a surprisingly complex and sophisticated digital business. This is not a hobby. This is a full-blown enterprise.
Right, so at its core, the product being sold is a commodified version of intimacy and fantasy. That really gets to the heart of it. But selling a feeling is one thing. Actually turning that feeling into a predictable, profitable business, well, that requires a whole other level of strategy. So, what is it? What's the secret sauce that makes that leap happen? I can tell you, it's not luck. And it's not just about looks either. It's about a series of really smart, deliberate business decisions. Let's walk through that path, from just going live to building a genuine digital empire.
And it all kicks off with a really critical mindset shift. This is not just a casual gig. It's not just a performance. It's a business. The second a creator truly starts treating it like one, everything, and I mean everything, changes. Because let's be honest for a second, the market is absolutely saturated. Just hitting that go live button and hoping for the best, that is not going to cut it anymore. The creators who really rise to the top earners, are the ones who operate like entrepreneurs. Their professionalism and their strategy, that's what makes them stand out from the crowd.
Okay, so you've decided to build a business. Where do you start? Well, you start with your digital storefront. And by that, I mean your tech setup, your camera, your microphone, your lighting. The quality here sends an immediate, powerful signal to anyone who stops by. It tells them if they've walked into a premium boutique or a messy discount bin.
And you can really see this tiered strategy at play with the hardware. Even just upgrading from a laptop camera to a solid 1080p model like the Logitech C920 says, hey, I take this seriously. But when you level up to something like a Razer Kiyo Pro Ultra or these crazy AI tracking cameras, you're sending a much stronger message. You're saying this is a premium experience. And that subtly gives the viewer permission to spend more.
The video might be what grabs their attention, but trust me, it's the audio that really creates that feeling of intimacy. Horrible audio, like an echoey, distant sound, it instantly breaks the spell. And what's so fascinating here is that there's no single best mic. If you're in a regular bedroom, a dynamic mic like the famous Shure SM7B is your best friend. It's designed to cut out all that background noise. But if you have a quiet, acoustically treated room, a condenser mic like the Rode NT1 can capture incredible vocal clarity. It all depends on your space.
But listen, all that great hardware means nothing if your software settings are all wrong. Think of these OBS settings as the fine-tuning for your broadcast engine. That 6,000 Kbps bitrate, that's just how much data you're sending out. It's what gives you that crisp 1080p picture instead of a pixelated mess. And using the NVENC encoder, that's a total pro move. It tells your computer to use the graphics card for the heavy lifting, so your stream stays smooth. These little technical choices make a huge, huge difference to the viewer.
Okay, so the tech is sorted. Now for the most important part, the product. And in this world, the product is you. Well, a version of you anyway. This isn't about being fake. It's about building a persona, a strategic asset that's carefully designed to connect with a very specific and very profitable audience.
And you absolutely have to understand your market. The data on this is undeniable. When you look at male creators, the audience members who spend the most money are, overwhelmingly, gay and bisexual men. A smart creator doesn't ignore that reality. They lean into it. This isn't about excluding anyone. It's about focusing your business efforts where they will actually make an impact and grow.
So how do you cater to that market without feeling like a phony? It's about finding what works for you. You don't have to be a frat boy, but maybe you can tap into that playful, curious side of your own personality. It's about amplifying the parts of yourself that happen to align with these profitable archetypes. That's the real secret to building a connection that feels authentic and one that actually generates revenue.
Right. So you have the tech, you have the persona, now it's time to talk about sales. The best creators on these platforms are not just sitting around passively waiting for tips to roll in. No way. They are actively engineering an entire economy within their stream, using smart psychology to turn casual viewers into paying customers. If you look at a professional tip menu, you are looking at a masterclass in behavioral economics. That micro tier with the really cheap options, that's not really there to make money. Its whole purpose is to get someone to make that first easy purchase, to break the spending friction. The mid-tier is your bread and butter, and those crazy expensive premium and elite tiers, they're not just for the big spenders, the whales. They also serve another purpose. They make everything in the mid-tier look like a fantastic deal. It's classic price anchoring. Now this is one of my favorite tips. It's such a small change with a massive impact. Imagine you have 3 different actions, and they're all priced at 50 tokens. In a busy chat, a 50 tip comes through. Which one do they want? It's total chaos. But if you price them at 51, 55, and 60 tokens, you know instantly what they're asking for. It's such a simple, elegant little solution that reduces confusion and speeds everything up. It's brilliant.
And this is where things get really interactive. We're talking about technology called teledildonics. Basically, it's connected hardware that allows a viewer's tip to trigger a physical sensation for the creator in real time. All of a sudden, a passive viewer becomes an active participant. That feeling of direct control is an incredibly powerful motivator, and it can drive a massive volume of transactions, way more than just a simple menu ever could. All right, let's dive into the least sexy, but honestly, maybe the most important part of the entire business, the back office. These are what you'd call the C-suite operations. The finance, the legal, the security, all the stuff that keeps the whole enterprise running smoothly and, most importantly, protected.
You know, if you're a creator living outside the United States, just getting your money can be a major challenge. You need a specialized service to turn those platform tokens into actual cash in your bank account. The 2 biggest names in the game are Paxum and Cosmo Payment, and the choice really matters. Paxum is known for having higher fees, while Cosmo is generally seen as more reliable with faster transfers. Picking the right one can make a serious difference to your bottom line at the end of the year.
Of course, privacy is a massive concern for any creator. The most common first-line tool for this is geo-blocking. It's pretty simple. It lets a creator block anyone from their specific hometown, their state, or even their entire country from ever seeing their stream. It's that first essential wall of defense for personal security.
But, and this is a huge but, that wall has a massive gaping hole in it. Anyone with a simple VPN, a virtual private network, can just pretend they're watching from another country and walk right past that geo-block. And that means creators can't just rely on this one tool. They need a much tighter, more comprehensive security plan for their entire online presence.
So when you put it all together, the tech, the marketing, the sales psychology, the back office security, you see this incredibly complex business. And it all leads to one final, really fascinating question. In an enterprise built on selling connection and intimacy, is the ultimate product just a perfectly performed version of authenticity?
We'll leave you to think about that one.